Greetings and welcome to our channel. I'm here with Peyton and Yaila, and I'm Corey, and we're here for the December energy update. It's become so popular. We're so glad that everyone likes it. So we're going to be reading the energies, all in our different modalities. So Yaila, let's start with you. Would you like to start?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, everybody. So I tap into the collective energy and I just do a general reading for those of you tuning into our channels and receiving the messages. And I just ask for the information and healing for the highest and best good for everybody tuning in to come through. So let me just tap into the collective really fast. Wow. So the first image I'm getting, I always like to get a general color for the group energy. And it's pretty cool to look at. So I first got some golden energy and then it turned into kind of like a disco ball of like all these different lights shining out. So that was really fun. Let me just see what that is about. It's really cool because what they're highlighting is if you ever look at a disco ball that's kind of dancing around, there is the light that is being projected, but then there's also the shadow pieces, right? And that's what they're highlighting to me. You're going to be seeing some bright images, bright lights, bright things that are shining and beautiful and fun. And they're actually still showing like the movement of this energy. Like if you're on the dance floor of the crystal ball, just kind of, or disco ball, I should say, just kind of moving around. And so there's going to be a blend of both, right? You're going to notice where the shadows are coming up, whether it's for yourself or for people. Shadows just being those situations, those feelings, those thoughts, those hidden things that are going to be highlighted. And so it looks like you're going to be seeing both, but you're also going to be seeing just at the same time where you're seeing the shadow spaces, you're going to be seeing so much light. And when you're at a party with the disco ball, we actually focus more on the projection of all the different colors and all the different energies. And it feels like that's going to be kind of the collective energy for the month of December. So let me just keep going and see what is important. What specifically do they want to tell us for the collective for December? What is important to know? The first thing that they're saying is standing your ground. So the month of November, we talked about really connecting to your sovereignty, really connecting to this is my place, this is what I want to be doing in the world. And for December, they're kind of continuing on with that message and saying, stand your ground. You know who you are, you know what you want, you know the directions that you're headed or want to be headed, and really stand your ground. So keeping your thoughts, your energy, your intentions, your words, everything in the direction of what you want. Don't let anyone or anything try to pull you off balance. Stand your ground. So that is the first message for the collective, because it does feel like we're going to be seeing some people and situations that are just like that disco ball is swirling around and the lights are dancing around. Everybody's kind of like in their own little world doing their own little thing. It can be easy to get pulled into their swirl. So you want to stand your ground and really keep your center. It's going to be very important for you for December. Let's see things to look out for the month of December. Things to look out for are false information, false things happening in the narrative, false things happening out in the, they're showing me like the news and just kind of false things that feel very real. It feels like be careful what you are believing in the month of December. You really want to stand your ground and look at the people that you are in real contact with, your friends, your neighbors, yourself, your family, and talk to them about where their heart is. Where is your heart? And trust that you know yourself and the people that you are in contact with, you know them better than what's being projected out in the world. So it feels like there's going to be some false energy out there that, again, it's trying to pull us into that swirl, pull us into confusion and just things that aren't in alignment for what we want. So you just want to be mindful of that. And let's just see if there's anything else for us, the collective, to know that could be for your highest and best good or healing. The last thing that they're bringing in is you are worthy of all of your desires. That's been a strong thing I've been seeing for just people I've been working with lately, including myself. There's been some work up to this point as far as really understanding your worth. So you are worthy of all of your desires. And as the collective, most of our desires are for us to be able to have a thriving life, be healthy, be happy, have different levels of freedom. I think that's kind of a general want for the majority of us, and you're deserving of all of that. So trust that you are worthy to have all of your desires on the personal level and the collective level. So bringing your heart to those places where you can tap more into your trust, your faith. If you need support with that, definitely line up with those people and those things that really help you stay in your sovereignty, stand your ground, and trust that you are worthy of all of your desires, and nothing and no one can pull you off track if you do not let them. So those are the messages for December. How about you, Peyton?
I love it when we do this because it always cracks me up how, even though the three of us don't talk about what we're going to talk about on this recording, how our messages dovetail. So, hey guys, I'm Peyton and I channel the Pleiadian High Council. And so when I checked in with them this month for, what can we expect in December? The first thing they wanted us to understand is why so many people are feeling so bad right now. And so what they wanted us to understand about what has happened over the past couple of weeks is they say we have made a major timeline jump. And they said we will be feeling the energy of this for several more weeks. And some of us have already been feeling it for a couple of weeks. So they said that this is a big energetic threshold that we have crossed. So they wanted us to understand that that is one of the reasons why so many people are really struggling right now, is because we have made a massive collective jump in our collective timeline. So the way they described this and what they wanted us to understand about this, they said that the energies that are hitting the planet right now are particularly intense. So they said it's going to be very normal for us to feel like we're in a pressure cooker. And I know I've had a lot of people mention that to me lately. And so the guides wanted us to understand that this is one of the reasons why that is happening. Because as these energies hit the planet, what happens is that it forces to the surface in every single person anything we haven't healed yet. So anything that we are holding onto that is still density in our field comes popping to the surface like a cork that has been held underwater. That is the purpose of these energies. So that is what is happening to us right now. So if you are feeling particularly triggered, particularly like you are just done with this entire game, there is an energetic reason that may be contributing to that. And so what the guides have said, what the Pleiadians wanted us to understand, is that our frequency is going to determine how we handle this. They said if you are doing your work, if you are staying in your lane, staying in your heart, you're going to experience these energies as bliss and excitement and expansion. But that if you're not keeping an eye on your frequency, you could have a very different experience. So they said that these energies are no joke. They are going to bring to the surface anything you're still holding on to that hasn't been healed and integrated. So what they are encouraging us to do is use the opportunity to integrate and heal anything that's coming up for you right now. Because as the Pleiadians described it, they said there's no avoiding this. It is going to continue to get stronger, and anything that we're not dealing with is going to be more and more in our face, shall we say. So our frequency is the most important thing right now. So that was one of the main messages they had for us for December. And the second one is to mirror what Yaila just said. And that is, they wanted us to know that misinformation is going to be at an all-time high. They said there is so much out there that is trying to distract you, to get you to drop to a lower timeline. And of course, the Matrix does this by circulating stories to put us in fear, to put us in anger. And so they encouraged everyone who is on their spiritual path not to fall for this. They said, be so careful with what you are listening to and believing as truth, because they said so much of what we are being fed right now has no basis in reality. It is purely illusionary. So they're encouraging light workers and starseeds to be very discerning with where we're putting our attention and what we're believing is true. Just because someone is saying it, no matter the size of their platform, no matter who they represent or speak for, does not make it true. And so they wanted us to be very, very careful, because they said that things are ramping up in the misinformation category to see if we will fall for it. And when we fall for it, when we buy into these stories, first of all, we drop our vibration. What happens when we do that? We drop to a lower timeline. And that is the whole game of the Matrix. So the only way to know what is true and what is false is to listen to your intuition. So they said for us to be very, very careful about that in December. So it's a time for using that discernment like you have never used it before. Now, the other thing that they wanted us to understand for December, they said there are a few things that we can be looking for to see as trends that we may see in the collective. And one of those is that we should be seeing an increase in our memories. And what they meant by that was that we will start to be able to tap in much more easily to our Akashic records. So tapping into parallel lifetimes, to knowledge that has been kind of hidden in our subconscious, unconscious, things that we have had access to when we were in higher realms and dimensions. They said we will start to have access to that. So look for your memories to be returning, to have an increase in your level of knowingness. They said that those of you who are doing your work will just start to have a very strong knowingness like you've never had before. And that is what we need to use to navigate, because that is the only way for us to know what is true and what is not true. So look for your knowingness to increase, for your memories to start coming back. And then the other thing they had for us was they said it may be challenging for us to try to plan anything out into the future. And one of the reasons for that, they said we are shifting grids. So we're shifting from the old 3D grid to the 5D grid, where we operate based on intuition. So they said if you are feeling like you're at a crossroads, like you don't know how to move forward, they said that's perfectly normal and a reflection of where we are energetically. And they encouraged us to navigate from our intuition, not from the mind. The mind is 3D. So that is something that we will see increasing as we move through the December energies. So look for expansion in your knowingness, in your memories coming back to you. And they encouraged us to use December to focus on creation. So staying in your imagination. They said your imagination is the most powerful thing you can use right now. because it literally creates your entire reality. So the Pleiadians have a new mantra, which is your imagination is everything right now. So they encourage us to live in our imagination, not in the outside world that we are seeing. So that's something that is becoming a stronger and stronger mantra of theirs. And in December, it is at the top of the list. And then I always like to check in with them and just ask them, what are the energetic themes for the month? What will the collective be seeing? And so they had two themes for us for December. The first is compassion. They said so many people are suffering right now, and those who are not doing their work are going to have a very bumpy time. So they encourage everyone to have extra compassion, especially for those who are really, really struggling, which is so many people right now. So compassion is one of our themes in December. And then our second theme is knowingness and trust. They said the answer will come from within you. So rely on your intuition, rely on what you know, even if you don't know why you know it, and trust that you are being guided by your higher self, by your team, and that is how you will navigate these energies. So that is what the Pleiadians had for us for the month of December. Corey, what do you have for us for the astrology?
Well, very interesting. Yes, we all tie in together. And hi, I'm Corey, and I will be giving you the astrology report for December 2022. And well, Neptune, that has been retrograde for a while, is going direct. Hence, if you have been feeling rather foggy-headed, that's going to lift. Neptune in its home sign of Pisces, when it was retrograde, we felt sleepy, our heads were not, clear and crisp. So I love what the Pleiades say, that, we will have more clarity, because we will. And taking the high side of things is going to be really important for December. So as the first part of December is going to be predominantly Sagittarius energy, and the second half is going to be Capricorn energy. So the first half of the month in that Sag is the adventurer, the philosopher, loves to travel, the eternal optimist. So in the beginning part of December, the energies are going to ramp up. They're going to ramp up. And people will want to feel as though they want to play, and have fun. And it's a good thing. However, the Neptune energy can be very deceiving. So we have that Neptune going forward, and all the stuff that you've been reviewing about spirituality could be, deception, addiction, all those things. Well, it's going direct. So whatever you were reviewing is now going to start moving forward. And so, as the other ladies were saying, yes, there is a lot of energy of deception and manipulation. So the Sagittarius can be a sign of jump in with 2 feet and think about the consequences later, because getting, so optimistic about, what adventure is coming next. So just hit that pause button. Doesn't mean not to have fun, but know that the Neptune has a lot of deception. So the Sag can go a little overboard on that optimism and not really actually care, just want an adventure. So that coincides with you ladies. And then really we have, and that's going to be on the 3rd of December. And so the predominant energies really is that on the 7th, the moon is going to conjunct Mars in Gemini, and Mars is going retrograde. All right, so moon is our emotions. So it's a really, there's going to be strong emotions in December. There really is, because we're going to have those conflicting energies of deception, not liking it, anger, frustration, mixed in with let's have a good time. It's the holidays. And on the second part of December, you know, we have Capricorn, and Capricorn's very practical, you know, very real. And so it will slow down the second half of December. We have the winter solstice will be on the 21st. And it also enter into Capricorn. So the winter solstice is in an earth sign. So it's really a feeling of, you know, wanting to cozy in. But Capricorn does rule career, work, ambition, and achieving. So there's a lot of that wanting to happen and moving forward. But it's going to be a time to slow down. We're just naturally, with all the energies going on, it's going to slow down. It's going to really slow down. And there are a lot of energies in December of reflection, because Mercury goes retrograde on the 29th of December. So Mars is in retrograde until March of 2023. And we're having a Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. And the shadow starts December 12th. And we won't be out of that Mercury retrograde until February. So what it represents is it's reviewing work, career, and the Capricorn wants to achieve. It's the mountain goat that climbs up the mountain. You know, the storms could come, you know, the rocks could slide, and they're still climbing. But because we have this Mercury retrograde, you can get really frustrated because the energy will not be moving forward as the Capricorn loves to do. But it's a great time to review your work, career, maybe review some things that you've been doing regarding career. And it's a time to really look at where you might have maybe some holes in the foundation that you've been building for work or career. It's a time to really shore up that foundation. Capricorn is about building, those earth signs is about building things for the long term, building those solid foundations. So that's what this Mercury retrograde is going to be all about on December 29th. New Year's Eve, the energies are really quiet because the moon is going to be in Cancer and people are going to want to stay home. So we have this one feeling of really wanting to go out and play and do things. And the frustration happens because really the energy is also very quiet and not really wanting to be social. So we do have that push-pull energy of December. Let's see. So of course, we have the North Node in Taurus. That's our destiny point still. And it's going to be with Uranus, some heavy influences. And so it's an overload of energy, you know, directing us towards the future. So as I've said in the last couple of months, we're heading towards the future. Taurus doesn't like change. Uranus loves change for the future. Future. That's Uranus. Uranus rules electricity, so it moves very fast. And Taurus is the bull that doesn't want to move fast, doesn't like change. So that's why we've had a lot of push-pull energy. So it becomes, the energies become really strong on the 23rd. And that too is why at the end of December, I kind of really want to do much, but feel agitated about it. But to go inside, there's going to be a lot going on the world stage outside. So this Mercury retrograde, the Capricorn, that's very practical, is inviting us to go inside, to really be creative. That Neptune, we have heavy Neptune energy in December, and Neptune on that higher side is our spirituality, our creativity. And so that inner reflection, creating your own inner world as to where we want to go in the future. What does your future look like? How would you paint it? How would you recreate it? Because we have the Pluto in Capricorn tearing down the old structures. And we're going to be building a new structures in the world. So December, especially the last part of December, is a great time to start going with, well, to go in even deeper and start thinking about what you want your future to look like. What do you want to create? So we do have, and lastly, but I'll do more of these on my channel, but in more detail, is we do have a full moon in Gemini in the 11th house of Aquarius on December 7th. So Gemini is the talk, communication, the messenger in the 11th house of Aquarius, the future, astrology. And then we have the winter solstice, and then the new moon is going to be in Capricorn. So again, reviewing work, business, foundations. What are you going to create? So that's my astrology report for December of 2022. And I'll be putting up more videos as December goes on to keep you up to date. So anything else, ladies? All right. Thank you so much for watching. We love your comments. They've been so kind, and we love reading them, and we love your support. And so please like, share, subscribe. And thank you so much for watching our energy updates and everything else that we put up. It has become really popular, and we're grateful. Enjoy your December. Bye for now.